Hey everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of Ready to Die Fighting. I'm Chris, and today I'm working on my friend's bike. She asked me to make a little upgrades, a couple little repairs to them. Nothing's real big and fancy, but one of the things is she wanted new tires. And while I was putting new tires on, I decided to also check out the hub, and I didn't record it, but basically took this part and put fresh grease in. There's little bits of rust here and there, so I've been kind of cleaning off the rust, just little things like that to try to get the bike in good shape. If you're interested in how to do that, I'm pretty sure I've done a video on it, and if I haven't, one day I will. So you should probably like and subscribe to the channel, because that way you will see when I do that. I think I might have already. I'll probably do it again though. So, but not right now because I already did it, and I'm not gonna do it again on the bike I just did. So, but for right now, what I'm doing is before I put this tire on, I personally like these slime inner tubes like this. I started putting these in our bikes, and we haven't had many flats. At one point, Nate was getting a lot of flats. He needed new tires, admittedly. But I changed his tires, and I put these inner tubes in, and he hasn't had a flat since. That was last summer, and he's done a decent amount of riding since then, and we've been a non-issue. And so I thought, just to save her a little trouble, maybe I should get her some slime inner tubes as well. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with the inner tubes that she had. The bike's been at my house for a few days, and they've been holding air just fine. I took it off, and there's just nothing wrong with it. So it seemed pretty wasteful to buy new inner tubes if she doesn't need them. So what I think I'll do instead is I already have some Stan's tire sealer or tube sealer. Stan's no tubes tire sealant, and this works basically the same as slime. Stan's is typically used for people who are going tubeless. Now, if you're going tubeless, that means no inner tube. You just put the tire on the rim with no inner tube. You get a good seal, fill it up with Stan's, or something similar. Stan's isn't the only company that makes it. You probably could use slime, I think. I don't know. There's a few other brands. There's like Orange or something. Muck Off, I think, makes something. But slime is the more mainstream and is more for flats and inner tubes. That's kind of where I think people will see it more. If you want to go tubeless, this is one of the companies that's very popular in that market. However, I was looking at the package, and I checked their website. You can also use it with inner tubes. And so I've already done one. And so this one already has some sealant in it. And you can it's a liquid. You might be able to hear it sloshing around. I can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it, especially with the... You hear that? So I'm just getting it all sloshed around in there. So there's that. And so I'm going to show you guys how I did it and everything. And what that'll do is if you get a small hole, if you get a big gash or whatever, it's not going to help you. You're going to get liquid all over the place now. But if it's a small little hole, like you lower a little bit of glass or a little pokey gets in there, especially if it's like a slow leak, it'll seal it, and you'll never even know. Like, tire will just be fine. The inner tube will just be fine. It'll just seal it, and you just keep rolling. Slime does the same thing. They have the liquid that you can add to your tires, or you can get it already pre-filled inner tube, which is what I often do. However, I didn't have any, so I'm going to use what I got. Oh, and I'm going to use what I got, which is Stan's, because one of my bikes is tubeless, and that's what I used. So what I'm going to use to fill up the inner tubes is, because this is kind of a big container, And if you notice, that's kind of a small opening. Is they also sell this, which holds 2 ounces, which is just the right amount for most tires. If you've got a plus size bike or a fatty bike, you might need 2 of these. But for your regular average road bikes and even mountain bikes that are the like more standard or smaller diameter, 2 to 3 ounces is about all they recommend that you need. So 2 ounce bottle, and it's got this nice tapered little top, and that's the reason why I bought it. They do sell an injector. It's a little bit pricey in my opinion, whereas this was only a few bucks, and I got just enough of the sealant, and I can just refill it and re-inject just with that. So that's what I went with. So let's get to this. You only need, realistically, 2, maybe 3 tools with this. And that's the sealant, something to inject it with, a valve core remover, and then an air pump to fill it up. So I brought this up here. This is a inner tube cap, and this one's made by Slime. Whenever you buy a Slime tire, or inner tube, sorry, it comes with the little cap on there. And what's nice about their caps is it includes, can you see that? It includes a valve remover with it. So that's kind of nice. Alternatively, you can buy one. This is by Feedback Sports. I can't remember how much it costs. Considering how rarely I use it, it was probably too much. But it works, it does the job, and if I needed it once and I used it once and it did it, then I needed it. So, whatever. So let's get to it. And I'll just do it like that so you guys can see what I'm doing. There, how's that? Is that good? Yeah. Good enough. All right, here's the tire I'm going to put on. It's a Shakedown. MSW makes this one, but then they also make it by Dimension. So I'm not sure if Dimension bought MSW or if MSW bought Dimension or Dimension bought the rights to the Shakedowns. I don't know, but that's where we're at. So there's 2 types of these valves. You can either have a Schrader, which is this, and it looks just like the kind that's on a car. It's just kind of a straight, kind of, in like your big box stores, your lower end bikes, kids' bikes, more than likely you're going to have this kind. With this kind, I want to say that the valve core, stem, whatever, is always going to be removable. I'm reluctant to say always because it seems like there's always an exception, but to my knowledge, it should be removable. Presta valves, usually you're going to find them on more high-end bikes. It's going to look more like this. Yeah. Go ahead and open it up and I can show you exactly what it looks like. Maybe. They look a little bit different. You see them on more higher-end bikes. You see them on road bikes. And so it looks more like that. And it's got this little thing that you twist off, and then you can fill it up with air, and when you're done filling it up, you twist that back down. And so that's a Presta core. Now, they are not all removable. Some are, some aren't. You have to kind of know what you're dealing with. If the one that you have is not removable, then you either can't fill it up with sealant. Yeah, you just can't. So then I think I've seen online there's some kind of crazy workarounds. I don't recommend it. Inner tubes are cheap enough. Just buy an inner tube that either already has slime in it, such as this one that Slime makes. They're not that expensive, or, you know, just don't fill it. One of the two. I'm just curious now. I don't know if this one's removable or not, but let's try it. Is anything happening? It looks like, yeah, so that one came out. That's how that would work. And so now I could fill that with slime or stange or whatever if I so wanted. And if you saw how I did that, I just kind of stuck this on there and started spinning. And I'm going to put it back on. And now just tighten that back up. And that's it. So this is two-sided, which is why I liked it. So one side is for the Presta and the other side is for Schrader. All right. I'm going to put that cap back on. And we'll save this for when we need it. Now let's get to it. So you see this little, I don't know what, I guess is the valve stem. So right there. It's blurry, I think it looks like, but just right there. I'm going to take the skinny end, or either my cap, whichever one I have, and just stick it on there. You got to line it up properly, but just put it on and turn it until it sets, and then loosen it up. Like, you just like how you loosen up anything, and you've got your stem removed. Next, I'm going to just, you can do this while it's on the tire. It works either way, but because I had everything taken apart, I'm just going to do it this way. Let me set this, get comfortable some kind of way. Maybe like that. That'll work. And so if you are doing this while it's on the tire, you want to have it, according to Slime's website, is you want to put it in the top half of the tire. So you want to position the valve. So instead of having it on the bottom, just like put it on the top half someplace. And basically the idea is that the liquid goes in and flows downward. Flows down and around and gets everywhere is what you want. So I'm just going to hold it up like this. And so as I am filling it, all the liquid will go down into the inner tube. All right, I'm going to give this a good shake. Mix all the liquid with the polymers and whatever it uses. It's fancy smanchy, proprietary, secret ingredients that fixes your leaks as you're riding. And I just fill it up. So this, like I said, it holds about 2 ounces, which is all I need. Whoops. And I'm a slob. Ah! Oh my God, why did I make such a mess? Good Lord. Bad thing about this is I did, as I was squeezing the top on earlier, it was like a fountain, so gotta be careful with that. So now, this is pretty liquidy. It pours in pretty easily. So just kind of tip it, line it up, and dump it in. Give it a nice even squeeze. You don't want it to go spilling out everywhere. And so I'm just gonna squirt it in. Try to go at an even enough pace where it doesn't get backed up or anything. And start leaking out. This is a pretty simple process. And that's it. It's all in there. Squeeze out every little bit. Okay. There we go. And that's filled. So now I'm just kind of wiping it off. It does seem to be a little bit of gunk on there. I should have brought a towel over here. I should have done. But I did not. So now I'm just going to put my stem back in. And so it's, let's see how it looks there. Just pay attention to how you took it in, put it out. One side has like this flat, I don't know how well you can see this, but one side has this like flat bit to it. and you see what I'm saying? And this one doesn't. So that's the side that goes in, right? This, see what I'm trying to say, where the tool goes on. So if the tool clips on this way, there's nothing for it to clip onto that way. So just put it on the right way. I'm just gonna stick that in there and tighten it back up. You don't have to go super tight here. Don't try to be Hercules. Just tighten it until you get some resistance, and then that's it. You're done. Now, I can definitely all that lovely liquid in there. Slosh it around, let it coat the inside of this tire, or this tube tire, whatever. Now that is done, put it on the rim, and then we'll pump it up and see if liquid sprays everywhere. So where's the opening? It's up at the top. So this has some nice tape on it. You always want to make sure that everything's nice and smooth. There's nothing, especially if you had a flat, make sure there's nothing. These spokes, if they aren't adjusted properly or if there's some damage or whatever, they can poke through here and actually pop your tire. That has happened to us before. So just make sure there's no metal shavings, none of the spokes are poking through, anything like that. It's just a kind of a good little precaution. I didn't think it'd be an issue because this tire wasn't flat, but there we go. Let's put this tire on. You do want to pay attention. Some tires, not all, have a certain direction of rotation to them. And they will often have an arrow on them. And so this one, let's see if I can see it. I saw it earlier. Got an arrow someplace on here. Oh, there it is. So, can you see that arrow right there? So it's pointing this way. So you want the tire to rotate this way, like that. Now this is the front tire, so it doesn't really matter how I put this on, really. Actually not. It's kind of easier to put the tire on first, I think. Just put one side. So you can have the bead is on, like this bead on both sides. Just put one side in. Don't need to get both sides on, at least not initially. You still need to put that inner tube in. I do find it is just a little bit easier if you, I might need to get a tool. I hope not. Sometimes, especially with a new tire, might be a little snug. Alright. So there, I got one side on. Get my liquid-filled inner tube, and I like to line inner tubes up with, like the logo. Just makes it look a little bit neater, in my opinion, when you have a logo and the valve lined up. To me, it looks a little nicer, but it also, you can't see it, can you? It also makes it just kind of quicker to spot where the valve is. If it's right where the logo is, you know where to look. I'm not at the best angle. I'm trying to do this so that you guys can see to my own detriment. It's making it harder for me. But that's the sacrifices I make to provide you with quality content like this. Changing bike tires. Fun stuff. What other channel can you go to learn how to fix your bike, garden, do some martial arts? I think that's pretty much it. I feel like I do more stuff than that. Learn to predict weather. Been doing that lately. All the fun stuff. I do have it planned to do a little bit of cooking since I got my cast iron pots and pans, and I will be getting some more. I'm looking at getting a Dutch oven. I'm trying to decide which one. I don't want to have a whole bunch of them. I'm willing to buy maybe 2 at the most. I would prefer to just really have one. I don't know how much it would actually get used in real life. But I am thinking it may be beneficial to have 2. And so now that one side is in, the inner tube is in, you just squeeze it. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. But once I get the, what was I saying, Dutch ovens? I want to do a little bit of cooking. So I showed how to restore a really rusty cast iron top. And it came out great. I'm going to post a video on that, the final product, pretty soon. It came out fantastic. I feel like it's time to maybe do some cooking with it and share a recipe or 2. So that might be a thing very soon. And so I'm just kind of squeezing and smashing this a little bit, really just to make sure that inner tube is seated in there good. It's not pinched or binding anywhere, and I'm not going to give it a flat when I start blowing it up. So it feels really good right now. Everything looks amazing. Let's pump it up. Everything is awesome. There we go. Let's do this. Let's see. What was the recommended max PSI of 65? So actually, I filled that up to about 30. That feels good. Everything seems fine. It's holding. Nothing popped. Nothing crazy happening. Let's let that air out. I don't remember the why of why you do that. But I've been told more than once, fill up the air to about 25. I went a little over last time. I went to 30. And then check it. And then fill it up the rest of the way to where you want to go. Or sorry, let it out and then let it out. Whatever. What I just did. So that's about, that's a little bit less than 60. That's about 65. I think I want to go a little bit lower. So that's about 55 right there. And I think that's going to be good. Now, the last step is just to put it on the bike and ride it. Get all that fluid, spin it around. Get the entire inner tube coated so that it will protect it. And as long as you're, every time you're riding it, every time you're spinning it, that's just spreading the liquid around, protecting your tire more. So the more you ride, the safer you are. Maybe not safer. Safe you are from the tire. From being flat. Whatever. And that's that. Oh, I guess last thing to do is try to clean off your valve and put that on there. Where is it? There it is. And that's it, boys and girls. You just slimed your tire. Or at least I did. Well, I guess I stand it. I stand in the tire. And she will hopefully be very happy with this. It's a nice looking tire. This is a hybrid tire, so this is for like a cruiser bike. And so she wanted something that would, she mostly rides on concrete. Very similar situation to Nate. I replaced his tire and he also got a hybrid tire. That was last summer. He's since gotten a new bike that has different tire on it, and he probably should get something different because he primarily rides on the concrete. I was hoping he would do some mountain biking with me, but he just doesn't want to. So, and I don't want to make him. It's not worth the effort. But this tire is nice because, one, it was inexpensive, but you've got a nice flat surface here that's raised. I don't know if you can see that it's a raised flat surface, but the sides have a pretty aggressive tread. And so what's nice about this is you will be able to ride on smooth pavement and concrete and blacktop, and you have a nice smooth ride and very little resistance. But if you get on grass, sand, dirt, you'll have this extra cushion, this extra traction, especially when turning. So this should be a nice, you're not going to be able to do like mountain biking with it per se, but just like if you're riding around the city and maybe there's like a wood chip trail, or you end up going on some dirt for whatever reason, maybe there's something going on in the street and you need to go around. This is the kind of tire that you want to be able to do grass, a little bit of gravel, a little bit of dirt, but mostly roads. If you're going to mostly be doing dirt trails, you should probably get a mountain bike that has a different type of tread on it. But that's a different video. I hope this was useful to you. I hope you enjoy it. Like and subscribe for more content like this and for some of the other stuff that I was talking about. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.